This demo illustrates creating a small program in the Java language using the BlueJ environment. First, let's see what the finished product is going to look like. It's going to be a greeter program that works like this. We'll have a little icon like you're used to using for running any program. Double click it, and this program just displays a message of your choice. This example displays greetings Earthlings. You can say hello world, how are you, welcome, whatever you'd like to say. And when you click OK, the program ends. It's a greeter program. So think of a message for your program, and let's go. Start the BlueJ environment and create a new project from the project menu. And decide where we're going to put it. I'm going to put this on the desktop. And want to give it a descriptive name for the project. We're going to use our initials and a descriptive title like, for example, greeter, since this is what this does. So I'll call mine RL greeter, and that comes into the title bar of the BlueJ desktop, and it starts us off with a README file that we can use later. The language's fundamental construct is the class. So a Java program must have at least one class, and most programs have more than one. So to start any program, we'll create a new class and want to have a descriptive name for the class that suggests what it's going to do. We can use the project name, but we'll go with that. RL greeter. You should use your initials followed by the word greeter. These are different sorts of components that can be created for a Java program. Right now we're just interested in classes. We'll click OK. And we get this a new icon on the BlueJ desktop with cross-hatching. This represents a file that we will have to edit. You double-click it, and you see that BlueJ starts us off with some code to save you the trouble. Now in this particular case, we'll only be using some of it. First off, where it says your name, you want to put your full name and put in the date that you're creating this. Oops, not quite there yet. There we go. And now we're ready to go. There's a lot of different sorts of statements that can go inside this part here that you see enclosed in the green. Well, we're not going to use this right now. We're going to just take all of that out from everything that's in between this curly brace and this very last curly brace. You select and just delete that and put this in there instead. We're going to, in between these two curly braces, we're going to put a main method. The main method tells the operating system where to start things off. It's the operating system's entry point to the program. The main header always looks like this, and we'll see a little later on what all of this means. Capitalization is important, and exact spelling is important. Okay, so this is public, static, void, main, and then in parentheses the word string with a capital S and an open and close square bracket right after string, and then args, close parenthesis. And then on separate lines, an open curly brace and a closed curly brace. And then bring your insertion point back in between there, and then we're going to put the statements for the program. Now every method, including the main method of course, has a body of instructions, and that's what's contained in these braces in below main is the body of the method. Now we have to have actions in the method, and they will execute in the order that we put them. In this particular case, we only have one action, and it's this. It's JOption pane. We're going to tell the JOption pane to show a message dialog, and then in parenthesis, the word null and a comma. We'll come back to what that's for later. And then in double quotes, whatever message you want to put on your OK box. Now, I like greetings, Earthlings. I like that. Oops. Exclamation point. Okay. And you see in BlueJ, when you get to a closed parenthesis, it's going to highlight the matching parenthesis that goes with it. That helps you keep track of things. Every statement ends with a semicolon, and that's all that this particular program is going to do. So that's all we need. And we move this over a little bit. All right, you see that the icon has this cross-hatching in it. All right. We have to compile it in order to try and translate this to something the computer can run. Now, in this case, we have an error. All right, we still have this cross-hatching here. It means it did not compile, and there's a problem. Well, this tells you where the problem is. Down here, near the bottom of the window, it's telling you what went wrong. Say it cannot find the symbol, the variable JOption pane. Well, it turns out that there's lots of stuff in the Java language that not every program uses. So we have to tell the system when we're using parts that don't have to be in a program. In this case, this is what it is. It's the JOption pane. We have to import it. So bring your insertion point up here and put in some empty lines in between the comment at the top and the class definition. And we're going to put the word import. Well, what do we have to import? We have to import the library for the JOption pane. How do you find out what that is? Well, a simple thing to do is to go to the documentation on the web for the Java platform and look it up. All right, so I can bring all classes here and just show everything, and then use the browser's find command to just look for it, JOption pane, and then you'll see it in this left-hand panel here. And now you see all these indented statements here, these indented things: Java Lang, Java AWT, Java X Swing. You look down to the very last one. That's typically the one that you need for the import statement. And we can highlight that, and Control-C copies, Control-V pastes, and we just paste that right in there from the documentation without having to retype it. Compile again, and now we see at the bottom, class compiled, no syntax errors. Let's bring that down. Notice the cross-hatching has disappeared, which means that the program is ready to run. We run the program by right-clicking the class icon, and there you see main, void main string args, and select it, and that gives us this box, which is a chance to provide some runtime information to the program. For this one, we don't have any, so we're just going to click OK, and now the program runs, and you see your message in a small dialog box with an OK button. When you click OK, the program ends. Now, if you want to change your message, you don't like it, you can come back to the program say something else. When you change the program, you have to compile again. Notice the cross-hatching came back. We compile again. We didn't introduce any errors, luckily. Try it again. And through here. And there it is. We have our different message now. When you're satisfied with your program, you want to make a jar file so that you can distribute the program to your end users or submit it to me if it's an assignment. We do that from the project menu, create jar file, about 2/3 of the way down. Now in this dialog, want to select the main class. That's the class that has main in it. We only have one class. That's it. And for submitting assignments, you certainly want to include the source and the project files. If you're distributing this to end users, that's not necessary. When you continue, now you have to say where you're going to put it. And I'm going to put this on the desktop, and you give it a name. I'll call it Greeter 1, since I already have one from before. And create. All right, now let's close the project and quit BlueJ. And now there's Greeter 1. All right. And you can double click it, and there's the program. And this program, this file can be moved to any computer that has Java installed on it, for example, a Macintosh or Linux system. So that's it for now. We'll see you next time.